welcome to another edition of InfoScope. I'm your host, Hannah Kim. We are back again with new research from the IT and science worlds. Let's first follow the latest in medicine. As many of you may already know, stress is never good for pregnant women. Therefore, depressed pregnant mothers face a higher chance of premature birth. But what about an expecting father who faces depression? Well, it turns out that depressed fathers-to-be can also raise the chances of an early delivery. Let's find out more about this and other stories in Briefing Scope. A Swedish research team has found that paternal depression can increase the chances of premature delivery of their newborn children. The depression in the husbands is seen as a source of stress for the pregnant wives, and researchers suggested that potential parents see professional help together. Researchers from Japan have succeeded in growing a human ear on a rat's back with stem cells. Currently, artificial ears are made with cartilage from the recipient's ribs through multiple surgeries, and the researchers state that they will be able to use these artificial ears in humans in 5 years. Korean researchers have uncovered how proteins that are connected to the formation of synapses work. Synapses are structures that allow neurons to pass signals to other neurons in the nervous system, and abnormalities in the formation of synapses are known to be a factor in mental disorders like autism or schizophrenia. New research has shown that the earlier a woman's first period is and the later her menopause begins, the higher her chances of getting breast or cervical cancer. The researchers attribute this to longer exposure to the hormone estrogen and larger quantities of hormones in the breast or cervix. A lot of medicinal updates today, but we are going to shift gear a little now. Recently, a lot of Korean dramas, movies, and music take a look into the past, making us think about old times, whether it be the fashion, culture, food, or even the people. What memories do you reminisce about? Now, I'm sure those memories are not always good memories. Some may even be memories of a harder past. However, either way, thinking about the past always makes us feel warm inside. How does this work? We have more details on Industry Inside.
This DJ booth brings back memories of the past, along with old movie posters. They capture the eyes and minds of not only the middle-aged and elderly, but also the young. Why do older Koreans fondly remember a time when life was much harder? Firstly, the conditions under which a memory is triggered plays a role.
잘 사신 분이 우울증이 찾아오면 헛산 걸로 느껴지거든요. 왜냐면 내 마음에서 그렇게 색칠을 하기 때문이죠. 근데 반대도 가능한 거죠. 조금은 힘든 과거가 있었어도 뭔가 지금 내가 그걸 따뜻한 과거로 느껴지게 뭔가 할 수가 있다면 그게 나는 긍정적인 과거를 가졌어. 그러니까 오늘도 행복해. 미래도 잘 살 수 있을 거야. 뭐 이렇게 연결이 될 수 있는 거죠.
The higher standard of living today has beautified the past filled with trials and tribulations. For someone facing troubles in the present, the past is a means of escape.
평소보다 더 힘든 일이 있을 때 과거나 미래를 좀 더 좋게 생각할 수 있는 그런 경향이 있죠. 인간은 누구나 생존 본능이 있기 때문에 과거 또는 미래에 평소보다 더 강한 미래의 희망, 더 과거의 좋은 추억이라는 색깔을 입힐 수가 있어요.
Experts suggest that a positive view on the past can be a good influence on the present and the future. How about going to a place full of memories this coming weekend? These monkeys are playing in mud. In Cambodia, monkeys are a common sight even on streets. However, these monkeys become very sought after once they are exported, as they are the most suitable specimen for researching various disorders such as dementia. A 3 to 4 year old monkey, which represents a human in its prime of youth, costs about $5,000. Older monkeys that naturally develop dementia cost around $10,000 as they become test subjects for dementia research. Transgenic monkeys, which have been genetically modified so that they can pass on genes that cause disorders to their offspring, have a disease-triggering gene that makes them ideal candidates for developing new drugs that target such genes. Nations like the United States, China, and Japan have owned or currently own transgenic monkeys, but Korea does not. Using transgenic monkeys in research but targeting incurable diseases can positively influence the development of new biopharmaceuticals, organ transplantation from one species to another, and stem cell research. Dinosaurs inhabited planet Earth from roughly 250 million years ago until 65 million years ago. Their sudden extinction still poses many questions even today. One such question is whether dinosaurs should be classified as reptiles or as birds. Korean researchers have discovered that the survival strategies of dinosaurs resembled closer to those of birds than those of reptiles. Using a mathematical model that analyzes survival strategies and aging patterns on a Tyrannosaurus rex showed that they had a substantially long growth period. This long growth period resulted in large body sizes, boosting their chances of survival. On the other hand, dinosaurs reached breeding age later than other animals. Their sense of survival only grew stronger as they attempted to breed. The survival strategy and aging pattern of the T-Rex were different from those of alligators and humans, and were similar to big birds like hawks and ostriches.
일반 대중에게는 이제 여전히 파충류와 가깝다라고 이제 알려져 있었죠. 근데 이제 저희가 한 연구에 따르면 이제 수학 모델을 가지고 이제 명확하게 구별을 할 수가 있게 되는데 오히려 이제 조류에 훨씬 더 가깝다라고 하는 사실을 이제 확인을 할 수가 있습니다.
This research unveils yet another aspect of dinosaurs and was published on the global academic journal Scientific Reports. Malaria killed a total of 430,000 people all over the world, while dengue fever claimed some 100 lives in Taiwan alone. These deadly illnesses were spread by mosquitoes. The Zika virus, which has been spreading all over Latin America, is transmitted by mosquitoes. When a person is bitten by a Zika-carrying mosquito, the virus in mosquito saliva enters the person's body. The mosquitoes that bite people are females, and they bite in order to gain animal protein before they lay their eggs. A mosquito usually drains 0.001 to 0.01 milliliters of blood, and the mosquito uses this blood to develop the eggs they will lay. The female mosquitoes can take in blood somewhat frequently, as they can lay eggs once every 2 to 3 days. Most mosquitoes tend to hunt for blood at night, but the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which spreads the Zika virus, is active during the day as well, making them more threatening. Philanthropist Bill Gates, who has pledged to donate $4.3 billion to eradicate malaria this year, considers mosquitoes to be the deadliest animal in the world. Moreover, global warming is expanding the mosquitoes' habitats, making them all the more threatening. People will have to be on their guard once the weather warms up.
Although there is no way to prevent the virus, there is hope. Genetically modified mosquitoes have been released in Brazil to combat the Zika virus and to curb the disease from spreading. Hopefully, we'll see positive results soon. Moving on, we have some updates about genetic engineering. Gene alteration technology is constantly developing. We can now select problematic genes, eliminate them, and replace them with normal genes. And while the technology has great potential, there are many ethical questions and concerns. Let's take a closer look at this and other stories on Tech a Peek.
The genome editing tool known as CRISPR holds a lot of potential for our future, making it possible to treat cancer and AIDS and bringing back the extinct mammoth to life. CRISPR works by selecting problematic genes, eliminating them, and replacing them with normal ones. Korea and the United States currently lead the world in this field, but China is catching up quickly. There are clinical trials in the United States targeting patients suffering from AIDS, and clinical trials for anemic patients are being planned. Korean scientists have succeeded in using CRISPR to replace the genes causing hemophilia with normal ones last year.
동물 실험을 통해서 혈액병을 유전자가를 이용해서 치료할 수 있다는 가능성을 보였고요. 최근에는 이 기술을 면역세포에 적용해서 암을 치료하는 가능성, 그리고 실명을 초래하는 그런 암구 질환을 치료하는 그런 연구를 하고 있습니다.
Experts predict that genetic modification won't be implemented into everyday treatment for 5 to 10 years. In the meantime, much remains to be done. There are safety issues that need to be addressed regarding genetic modifications made on humans. Moreover, there is a lot of controversy regarding the possibility of custom-made babies, as the technology can allow a human embryo to be modified to solely have desired genetics. There are many cases where people encounter severe head trauma but look perfectly fine from the outside. However, there is a time delay during which brain damage from trauma can manifest, and left unattended, intracranial pressure can increase substantially and quickly from swelling, leading to death. In order to prevent such deaths, small changes must be looked out for from within the brain, but there are limits. Researchers have developed a sensor that can monitor brain pressure in real time and eventually dissolve on its own. This sensor is 2 millimeters big, and it can enter the deepest recesses of the brain and precisely diagnose even the smallest of injuries. Moreover, it can dissolve within 4 weeks upon completing its tasks, negating the need for additional surgery to remove it.
수술로 인한 2차 감염이나 제거 과정에서 발생하는 뇌 손상 등의 위험을 현저히 낮출 수 있습니다. 또한 무선으로 뇌압을 측정하기 때문에 뇌압을 측정하는 동안에도 일상생활을 할 수 있다는 장점이 있습니다.
This technology can allow numerous simultaneous diagnoses of the brain, allowing doctors to spot different kinds of brain damage early on. This research was published on the online version of the renowned scientific journal Nature. Drones are now prevalent in many different casual and professional fields. However, with more popularity comes greater chances of accidents. Last year, a drone crashed into the grounds of the White House. An 18-month-old baby lost an eyeball after being hit by a drone. Both incidents were due to operator error. Technology to allow autonomous flying along a preset course has been developed, but it isn't enough. Recently, researchers have come up with a new operating system that will automate obstacle avoidance. This system was demonstrated by having a 15-centimeter drone avoid 26 1-centimeter thick obstacles in order to reach its final destination. The technology works by having the drone look for empty space between obstacles instead of searching for obstacles to avoid. This technology is effective for avoiding not only big obstacles like walls, buildings, or bridges, but also smaller obstacles that can be found in places like forests or cables. The researchers plan to look into increasing processing speed for the drones and making sure that the technology works even with propeller-based drones that are more prone to wind compared to other types of drones.
Even though more people are now interested in drones, there should also be more interest in drone operation safety. I guess you could say that more responsibility comes with new possibilities. Well, this wraps up today's episode. We'll be back next week with more fun and interesting news from the IT and science worlds. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful week. Goodbye!